Good morning, everybody. I am your grateful neighborhood addict named Connor, and this is today's Daily Reflection. July 7th, and letting go of it. Primarily fear that we would lose something we already possessed, or would fail to get something we demanded. Living upon a basis of unsatisfied demands, we were in a state of continual disturbance and frustration. Therefore, no peace was to be had unless we could find a means of reducing these demands. The difference between a demand and a simple request is plain to anyone. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 76. Peace is possible for me only when I let go of expectations. When I'm trapped in thoughts about what I want and what should be coming to me, I'm in a state of fear or anxious anticipation, and this is not conducive to emotional sobriety. I must surrender over and over to the reality of my dependence on God, for then I find peace, gratitude, and spiritual security. Hi, everybody. I just want to start out by saying today just a real heartfelt thank you to everybody who watches my videos. And if I can even help one fellow addict or alcoholic today, that really just makes all of this worth it. So thank you guys so much. So on today's reading, right, today's reflection, what is fear? Fear is anticipation of something that might happen. Instead of accepting fear, accept surrender. Surrender produces peace. Fear says, I need this to happen. Expectations say, this should happen. And surrender says, God, your will be done. Now the reading says, the difference between a demand and a simple request is plain to anyone. Then there's the shoulds in between, right? The expectations that live between fear and surrender. People should understand me. Recovery should be easier. God should answer my prayers the way I want him to. And sometimes those expectations aren't directed at other people. Sometimes they're directed at ourselves, like the ones that get me. Like, I should already be healed, or my depression should be gone, or I shouldn't have to go to meetings every day. And that's not a good way to find peace. That's a good way to set yourself up for disappointment, anger, and resentment. Because when my expectations are met, I don't feel peace. I feel like, good, that's what should have happened. That's not peace. I find peace when my expectations are out of the way. And that takes surrender. Surrendering my own will, which is what I want, when I want it, and how I want it. And how that relates to my addiction is, well, during my addiction, I never had peace. The only peace I ever felt was the moment I got home after picking up a bag, locking my door, and loading up my pipe with nothing else to do for the next couple of days. But that never lasted very long, and neither did the bag. But today, I have peace even when there's a cop behind me. I have peace every morning when I wake up and I give the first fruits of my day to God, practicing my Step 11, and I have peace when I fall asleep at night, because I actually do that now that I'm off the pipe. I have peace today because I don't have to worry about how much I have left. I don't have to worry about when I'm going to pick up again or who I'm going to call. Today, I'm free. And so this reading talks about steps 3 and 7. And step 3 is we made a conscious decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God. So step 3 says, I will surrender control of my life. And step 7, we humbly ask God to remove our shortcomings. And step 7 says, I will surrender my selfish wants and demands. And both of these take humility. And I think this is a great way to conceptualize the framework of the 12 steps. I actually took this and put it into like a one-page PDF. I'll put the link in the description. But steps 1 through 3 are your foundation of faith, right? Learning to trust God and your introduction to him if you don't already have a higher power. Steps 4 and 5 are about improving your relationship with yourself through learning humility. And steps 6 and 7 are about improving your relationship with God. Steps 8 and 9 are about improving your relationships with others. And steps 10 and 11 are maintenance of all of these relationships. And of course, step 12 is the mission. So how does this relate to faith, right? How does surrendering our wants and demands improve our relationship with God? Well, imagine what life would be like if you demanded that your parents do something for you. I don't know about you guys, but that would not go over very well for me. Or if any of you are married or in a relationship, Imagine how much better your life is when you don't demand your partner fold the laundry a certain way or do the dishes at a certain time. The natural result of letting go of expectations is fewer resentments and more peace. And God's trademark is his peace. That's what I feel every time I'm in his presence. Just overwhelming peace. So surrendering our shortcomings, including our shoulds, is an essential maintenance step in our spiritual hygiene, especially because peace comes from God, right? The Prince of Peace. So I want to give you guys a message of hope today, and that's that you can have peace right now. It's just a matter of what you're willing to let go of. Expectations say, I'll have peace when and if this thing works out. And surrender says, I have peace because I know God is with me, even if nothing works out the way I expected. So surrender is about receiving peace, not planning for it later. And you can talk to God anytime of any day from anywhere, and he will listen. And if you seek him, you'll discover the peace that only he can give. And that's how you know you have a relationship with God, is you'll know him by his peace. And while it may not be the same as drugs, peace, once you get used to having it in your life, is actually incredibly addictive. So a quick note for the newcomer. If today feels frustrating, ask yourself one simple question. What am I demanding from life right now? Then hand that demand to God. You don't have to stop hoping. You only have to stop insisting. And a question to leave everybody with today is, what am I afraid of losing or not getting that is causing me stress today? And can I let that go? And what would it look like to surrender that to God today? Thank you so much for listening today and for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I am your grateful neighborhood addict named Connor, and I'm wishing you another day gratefully sober. Until tomorrow.